Hi you guys, how's it going? My name is India and I just wanted to say thanks for clicking on this video. So today's video is going to be another story time. The last couple that I've uploaded are all story times circulated around addiction and my history with addiction and getting clean and sober and finding God again. And the effects of what sobriety has done and testimonies and etc. etc. So just before I get into the story, I wanted to say that in no way, shape, or form, all of the stories that I do talk about are not meant to glorify addiction, the lifestyle, or anything that has to do with that. Absolutely not. The purpose of every single video that I make of these story times are all to inspire people and show people that, like, hey, look at me, look at how shitty my life was and how addicted to dope I was, that if you watched the last video, that I'd rather get shot and killed than, not have my dope. But yeah, to show people that that's who I was and this is who I've become when no one thought it was possible. I mean, literally, if you would have asked anyone in my family, they literally all gave up on me. Everyone gave up on me. They all told me I was the walking dead and they felt defeated. They felt like no matter what they said, no matter what they did, that I was going to be using until the day that I died, and my death would be very soon. That's just, yeah. And, I don't blame them for feeling that way. I honestly didn't think I was ever going to get clean. And I didn't think that I was ever going to live a long, prosperous life. None of that. But I also have this with me today. So there we go. Yeah, it's looking kind of bad. But I'm going to be puffing on this a little bit. So bear with me here. All right. So my life is so different today. Little history, I'm gonna take like 30 seconds. I'm 27. I'm like, well, what do I say? I'm 27. I have been clean and sober now for about 4 years, just shy of 4 years. I have a 2-year-old son who's sleeping in there on the couch. So if you guys hear him, that's him. I'm a full-time college student. I've been going for almost 2 years. Had to go and get my GED first before I went and, got the degree, or close to getting the degree. Yeah, so pretty much my life consists of being a single mom, running around here, cleaning up messes, making food. By the way, I'm super healthy now. Everything I eat or feed my son, we're all organic. We also don't eat red meats. Just so many lifestyle changes, down to the music that I listen to, the way that I speak, the way that I, make my friends now. I love quality friends instead of quantity friends. We go to church every Sunday, and my life has taken I would say 360, but I'd be right back here, so 180. My life has taken a 180 so hardcore, night and day. So no matter what, no matter how depressed you are, no matter how many mental illnesses you have that stem from addiction, no matter how devastated you are in your current situation, the feelings of lostness, the feelings of guilt, shame, the feelings of never being able to overcome addiction, the feelings of defeat. I could go on and on because I've experienced all of those emotions, but no matter what, it does not matter. You want to know why? I say it in all my previous videos, but as long as you are breathing and moving, there is hope for you. Even if your family doesn't believe in you, there is hope for you, and you still have a chance. So yeah, okay. Today's video is going to be another story time, and it's going to be about when I was burglarized. Is that? Oh, he's crying. Okay, let me pause this. All right, so I just turned the light on, but anyways, yeah, it was starting to get really dark. It's like nighttime now, but anyway, so it's gonna be about the time that I was burglarized, or my home was. I wasn't there, which, it really sucks. You know what? I think I'm gonna turn the light back off. Yeah, I kind of like how that looks. All right, sorry you guys. Anyway, so Yeah, during this time, I'm trying to think back, this was so many years ago, but mainly it was about a year before I ended up having my family come down, save me, bring me back up here to Whatcom County area. But yeah, this is what transpired actually. My whole downfall, my rock bottom before getting clean and sober, which, you know, blessing in disguise. So hey, I can't be mad at it at all. But yeah, so my lease was up. I literally had to box everything top to bottom myself. My apartment wasn't huge. It was just one bed, one bath down in Renton area. So boxed everything up, probably, I mean, I had boxes like boom, boom, but stacked like up, everywhere, right? Boxed everything up. Mainly everything was clothes. Okay, so jumping back, if you guys haven't seen my other videos, I used to escort, so I literally would have all of this money and it usually all went towards, well, drugs and clothes. Like my favorite stores to go to was like BB. That was my all-time favorite store. I would go in every single day or every other day and buy 6 $400 or $500 jackets. I just loved the jackets that they had there and the onesies, like jumpsuit type stuff. But anyways, that's beside the point. I just wanted to make it known that I would purchase so many clothes that had tremendous value to them. Also, I had multiple gold chains that I kept in my little safe too, unless I was wearing them, which most of the time I was wearing them. So I had boxed everything up top to bottom. I invited a friend over. At the time I was dating this guy, like, oh my goodness, he was freaking batshit crazy, like so crazy. He had like a teardrop right here. And when he was 12 years old, he got sentenced to juvenile prison for murder, like at 12. But that's just a tiny little background history of him, and that just gives a little outline, okay? But he was crazy, like super crazy. Anyway, so boxed everything up, had my boyfriend over. We were, you know, staying at my place. He obviously didn't have a place. No, he didn't. He freaking couldn't provide shit. I'm just saying. It was me, you know, it was definitely all me. Boxed everything up, had a friend come over. At this time, my car, at this time my car was completely like donezo. Like, long story short, I might just include this in a different video, went to jail. And while I was in jail, I entrusted a friend to watch my vehicle for me, and turns out him and all of his tweaker friends literally ripped it apart, took all of the parts to my car, you know, building this other car, sold some of it, and yeah, I'll just save that for a different time. So that's why I didn't have a car any longer. And this was very fresh. This was like a week prior. So I had our friend come over, and his actual name is John. I know I say John a lot, but that's his real name. And the reason I have to make up names is because I just do not remember, you know, people's names. I blocked out a lot of it. Plus it was a very long time ago, but yeah, I'm gonna be puffing on this too. So gonna be doing that right now. So John comes over, we're hanging out, we're getting high, obviously. What do junkies do when they're like hanging out? And I was like, okay, well, can I borrow your car? I want to go out and, you know, do this and that. And he's like, yeah, sure. Here's my keys. So my boyfriend and I got in the car and drove it around. Well, we took a very, very, very long joyride, and he was calling us, John was calling us, and he's like, where's my car? Where's my car? Like in voicemails, we wouldn't answer it. We just like hit the what's it called? Like whatever, you know, disconnect or whatever. And so I have a feeling he was under the impression that we were trying to steal his car. And I mean, we were gone for over 24 hours, so hey, you can't blame him. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, dummy, like why would I do that to you? Like, you're over at my place, you have like literally everything to my name. So anyways, like I said, we were gone for 24 hours and ended up bringing the car back and walked up through the back of my apartment where the slider is. That's usually how I like to go into my place, was through the slider. So I'm walking up, boom, here's my slider. I go to open the slider and I looked inside. Every single box was gone. Every single box in my apartment, gone. When I seen that and when I witnessed that, I literally I had to have turned pale, I know this, because I started blacking out. I dropped to my knees and I profusely was throwing up, blowing chunks, like chunky chunks. And I started bawling my eyes out. I freaking had a meltdown because I just seen my freaking life flash before my eyes. I was thinking to myself, holy shit. Literally every single thing that I had worked so hard for during my time down there in Renton, my gold chains, that day I just didn't so happen to have my shit on. It was in my safe, which was in a box, which was stolen. So all of my cash that I had, because I kept all of that in my safe as well. My safe kept all of my super, super valuables in it. Cash, jewelry, etc. Everything was gone. They even took the boxes that had freaking dishes in them and towels and everything. So yeah, I literally thought I was going to die. Anyways, my boyfriend hops up. He's like, oh, where is this motherfucker? Where is he? I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him, baby. And I'm just like, well, now I look back at it, I think it's really funny because he didn't actually do shit. Yeah, he just played tough guy. But anyways, I'm bawling my eyes out. And so now I'm stuck in this empty apartment with nothing to my name except for the clothes on my back. Keep in mind, I'm in spandex, a little spaghetti strap with like a cardigan, and one pair of underwear and shoes. That's it. That is it. And that's the way that it was for a very long time. I did not have money to go out and buy clothes or food or freaking anything, you name it, a toothbrush. Like, imagine just getting out of prison and not having any money and you've been in there for a super long time to where you don't even have previous possessions. It's the worst feeling in the world. It is so isolating, humiliating. I mean, yeah, those next 6 weeks of my life were so bad. I remember my boyfriend, we were just going house to house, right? Like literally house to house, that people that he knew, and we would just sleep on this couch, sleep in this bathroom on the floor. We would be sleeping underneath tables, like eating tables, like with our blankets underneath there, just different houses. You know, we'd have to stay out of the walking areas. There'd already be people on the couches and in the beds, which is why like we couldn't be sleeping there, right? We literally had to find like little nooks and crannies to sleep. We had to beg people for food. I had to go to McDonald's and just literally beg them for a meal. And I would always have to go into like my situation, what had happened to me, and why I'm begging them for some free food. Yeah, so many times I had to beg restaurants for food because I'd literally be starving. Keep in mind, I'm already a pretty skinny chick. Like, sometimes when I turned sideways, I disappeared. But yeah, more so when I was using drugs. Like, so yeah, so now that I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, you know, I'm in full-blown depression mode. I am looking disgusting. Keep in mind, hadn't been able to take a shower, hadn't been able to properly clean myself and have proper hygiene, like tendencies. I wasn't able to do any of it. And when you're a woman and when you're a chick and you know, you're living on the streets and you don't even have like shower or makeup or a brush to comb your hair, and you have to ask like these other women if you can, that you don't even know and that don't know you, like, feel bad for me, please let me freaking use you. But a lot of the times people were actually really nice and helped me out a lot, which I'm so grateful for, like so grateful for. But anyway, so the reason I said that next 6 weeks of my life was so horrible was because we didn't have a place to call home, right? So 6 weeks pass, ended up, keep in mind, anyone that I was around told me that I stunk like shit. Well, yeah, no shit, if you only knew what was going on, like, down there. Disgusting, humiliating, and like, ew. But anyways, so 6 weeks later, ended up kind of finding my resting place for a period of time, which was at the other trap house. And Bill and someone else, I forget his name, but white guy, black guy, roommates, best friends, shared this huge house that was paid for, passed down because his dad died, and it was just a trap house now. So it's just freaking loud freaking music playing 24/7, and you know, when you're trying to sleep you can't because everyone's partying, and it's just awful, freaking awful. I've never been the one to have a trap house as my residency, like never. So it was awful, like super awful. But yeah, everyone's doing drugs around you, but you freaking can't get your own shit because all my money got jacked. But yeah, I could go on and describe to you guys like the effects that that burglary had over my life, my well-being, my mental health. But just for the sake of keeping this video somewhat short, I'm not gonna, you know, give too many other details. I'm sure that you guys could imagine-ish, you know, some of the stuff that was going on. But yeah, depression got so bad, everything got so bad to the point where I wanted to end my life. I wanted to kill myself. And you know, I feel like I had a pretty damn good reason for wanting to do that. Like, also, what's crazy about it is I called my parents 2 days prior to help co-sign or help me try to get this storage unit that I could put all of my stuff into while I was transitioning to, you know, this new place that I was renting out. And so they were like, no, sorry, we can't help you. I was just like, oh, okay. I just think it's so funny because if my parents, and I'm not putting this on them at all, but I just think about this, I'm like, wow, if they would have been like, yeah, I'll help you, which I don't blame them for not, like, I'm like a drug addict daughter, like, why are you gonna help me? But if they would have, like, I would still have all my shit today. Like, that's what's crazy is I would still have all my shit, but yeah. And the reason that the depression was so bad was because the way that I seen this whole thing was like, keep in mind, I was escorting at this time. All of the money that I made from escorting, from doing these nasty freaking things that I did with other men, and all of the money that I got in exchange for those acts was all spent on materialistic shit, which today I would never do. I do not care about that sorts of shit. I just don't. Plus, I don't, you know, escort anymore. That's like no way in the realm of my existence these days. But I just don't give a shit about material objects the way that I did. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, I just felt like, wow, every time that I hooked up with someone and got money for it and went out and bought something with that money, every time I did that, it all added up. Now here's all of my stuff that I have to show for it. Like, wow. And then poof, gone. Like, oh. It broke my heart, it ripped my chest open, it freaking killed me inside. That's why it was so humiliating, because I felt like after these years of doing what I did and exposing my body the way that I did and just being so selfish to myself the way that I did in exchange for these items, and I had nothing to show for it. Like, I wanted to straight kill myself. Yeah, so you know, the following 6 months, 7, 8 months before I ended up moving back here to this area was very sad, very pitiful, depressing as shit, and rock bottom, let's just say the least. But like I said, I thank God every day that that shit happened to me, because I would not be standing, I probably wouldn't be standing right here. I know I wouldn't. Probably wouldn't be alive, wouldn't be breathing, maybe have an overdose. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be sharing my story today with you guys in hopes to inspire and encourage people to change their lives and to show them that it is possible, no matter how shitty you are in your addiction. But anyways, yeah, I think that that's all I have for this video. I was going to get into something else, but you know, which I can just touch on it really quickly. Ended up finding out who it was that helped this person steal all of my shit, because keep in mind, John didn't have a car, we had it. So who had this truck to make all of these trips then? Well, come to find out, it was this other person that I knew that we did not get along, because he had stole from me in the past when he was the guy that freaking took my car apart. Wow, imagine that. Wow, small world. Anyways, yeah, so figured out it was him. Well, a couple weeks went by after, you know, knowing that it was him. We ended up sneaking, my boyfriend and I, ended up sneaking into this dude's house and stealing some of my shit back, which is so crazy. Like, he had this section to his house where the only way to get to it, even though it was attached to the main house, was to exit the front door, go around, and go through the side door. So he would always keep it unlocked. They were tweaking inside, doing their own thing, while my boyfriend and I managed to sneak into this room to steal as much shit of mine back as we could. We had a stolen car at the time, actually, and we would just load up as many stuff, you know, as much as my stuff as we could into this car. And, you know, that was a semi-success. I mean, I probably got 2 boxes worth of shit out of the 25 boxes that he took. But anyways, this is probably going to be a part 1 because I know for sure there has to be a part 2 about this story. Yes, because this was the time that I retaliated. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about that story, actually. Maybe. If you guys see a part 2, just know it's because I created a part 2 to talk about another time that I went in to sneak back some of my shit from this dude's house. And his name is Bean, actually. Like, that's his real name. Like, Bean. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, and that's a trippy story in itself. I might have to be careful about how I tell that story, though. Yeah, or just kind of edit it a little bit, because, you know, I don't want to get into trouble. But anyways, so that's it. That's all I have for you guys right now. I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you guys think that my stories are cool and you think that what I'm doing here on this channel is awesome, inspiring people and showing people that no matter what it is possible. Please subscribe to my channel. Send this video to people out there that you think need encouragement, you know, to show them that, yeah, you know, freaking your addiction sucks and it's taking over your life. But you see this chick right here? This is just some of the shit that she went through. And now look at her. She is clean and sober, has been for 4 years, has a whole new life, a whole new story, and her story now is beautiful. And that can happen for you too. I know it can. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you. It's not turning off.